Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining today's Lunch and Learn, brought to you by RentSpree and the Royal Palm Coast Realtor Association. Just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started. If you have questions throughout today's session, please feel free to pop them into the Q&A. We have Charles from our support team who's going to be answering the Q&A throughout the session, and we'll also take some time to answer questions at the end of the presentation. The webinar is going to be recorded, so if you have to leave early or if you have a friend that couldn't make it, not to worry, we're going to have the recording sent to you via email. So stay tuned for that, for a copy of the recording to come in the next couple of days. And we're just going to give everybody one more minute or so to trickle in, and then we can get started. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into today's content. So first off, I want to introduce myself. My name is Steven Pastores. I'm a client success manager here at RentSpree. Been with RentSpree since April 2020. And we also have Charles from our support team, who's been with us since 2020 as well. We work with a lot of the major MLSs all across the United States. We've given over 100 webinars in our time here at RentSpree, and we're really excited to share with you today some of the benefits that RentSpree can offer you as a member of RPCRA. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today as well. Now, when we listen to agents, we hear them give a lot of pushback against working with rental properties, and there's a couple of different factors as to why. So a lot of agents do shy away from rentals because there's not a lot of income potential. Commissions don't tend to be as large as if you were selling a home. There's a lot of competition, and the number one complaint is that the process just takes a lot of time. There's a lot of forms that have to be filled out by the renter. You have to wait 2 to 3 business days to get a background check back, and collecting all the fees and paper applications just is a complete hassle. And that's why a lot of agents just choose to only focus on home sales. But we are entering a very interesting time in the home sales market. Nationwide, we've seen a lot of competition when buying a property, especially in Florida. Florida has seen a lot of newcomers arriving from states like Texas, the Northeast, and California. And that has driven up a spike in the amount of interest in putting an offer on a home. And that means that a lot of renters are being squeezed out of buying a place, so they have to continue leasing. And that presents a really interesting opportunity for you to consider rentals as part of your portfolio. We're going to explain a couple of reasons why you should consider working with rentals consistently in the next couple of years. So one of the current statistics that we've looked at here at RentSpree is the current renter rate, which is right around 35.5%. And this is a rate increasing actually among groups that are traditionally likely to be homeowners. So we're kind of referring here to millennials, folks that already have 2 to 3 kids that are looking to kind of settle down into a place but are getting priced out of a home, so they have to continue looking for a rental property. And this is really again, folks that have around $70,000 to $100,000 in annual income, so kind of like middle class. And again, traditionally, they were already at that point where they would consider buying a place. However, the current environment is not really conducive to that. So they have to kind of look at rentals as the big picture here. There are some benefits, though, to working with rentals. And one of the great advantages is that if you're a new agent trying to get your feet wet into the market, working with leases can be a really great way to get practical and hands-on experience. You can quickly get market knowledge by working with landlords, property managers, and renters alike. And it's a really great way for you to cultivate leads for future buyers and sellers. So if you go about working in the rental market with an eye on cultivating relationships, those relationships will ultimately become leads for you. And it's really all about tracking all the information into your CRM. Interesting fact here is that agents that make $100,000 or more a year, 60% of those agents are using a CRM system. A CRM is a customer relationship management system. You can kind of think about it like HubSpot, Salesforce, LionDesk, things like that. Those systems, if you're religiously tracking each of your rental prospects, will allow you to keep tabs on those folks. And that way you can kind of cultivate those relationships as their rental journey continues. And they'll feel more comfortable coming back to you when their lease is up, or if they're even ready to buy a property, they can actually go with you to take that next step. And it's also a great way to earn extra income. If you do just a couple of rentals a month, those commissions will add up. So if you're having a hard time finding a home to sell, consider rentals to at least get that supplemental income. And here's where RentSpree comes in. So RentSpree and RPCRA have been working together since September of 2021, so coming up on a year. And RentSpree is basically an automated rental suite designed to help you streamline the entire rental process from showing to signing. It's a benefit that's available for free for you as a member of the MLS. And the goal of today is to kind of just walk you through what RentSpree can offer you and how you can enable RentSpree screening directly from within the MLS system. Now, there's a couple of different things that are included with your RentSpree account. So the first item that I want to talk about is the online rental application. So we've basically taken the entire rental process from application to lease signing and made it digital. So the benefit of having an online application is that you don't have to worry about the applicant missing any steps in the process. Our application is able to catch if the renter is missing any sections throughout the form. And that really helps you because you're only going to get an application that has everything completed. So when it comes time for the landlord to review it, they don't have to worry about asking the applicant to fill out the form again because it's missing information. This application is also mobile optimized, which is great because if the applicant goes to a showing or an open house and they want to apply, we designed it so they can actually apply directly from their smartphone. And we even have a QR code available that the applicant can scan to start the application process using their phone. It's going to take them approximately 5-10 minutes to complete the application, and you'll receive the results back instantaneously once they click submit. The online application is free, so if you just want to get that initially from the applicants, it is free of charge. And then the credit report, background check, and eviction-related proceedings are $30 altogether. So if you want to get a complete application package with those 4 items, the applicant would pay a $30 fee directly to RentSpree. And this is great because, again, you don't have to pay anything as a realtor. The applicant will be responsible for covering the cost. I want to discuss a little bit more about the credit report. And the credit report is a soft pull, which means that it doesn't affect the applicant's score at all, which is really great because, as you know, oftentimes applicants are applying to multiple homes and they don't want to see their credit score dinged by a couple points each and every time. That doesn't mean that you're getting the short end of the stick because you do get all that detailed information on the applicant's financial background. So what that means is that besides the credit score, you do get access to their trade lines, fraud indicators, previous addresses, basically everything you need to get an understanding of where the applicant stands financially. You also get access to a background check, which covers 44 states, including Florida. And this includes a most wanted database search and a sex offender registry search as well. And then finally, eviction-related proceedings. And these proceedings cover all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico as well. So again, these 4 items are included in the $30 application fee that the applicant pays to RentSpree. But if you just want to get the rental application, that is free of charge. 2 other things that you can do within RentSpree are that you can share the reports. And I'm going to give you an example of how you would do this. So let's say, for example, your applicant is applying to their first choice property, but they're not accepted for whatever reason. If they want to apply to another property, what you can do is that you can share that same RentSpree report with the property manager or landlord of that other property. And this way, the applicant saves $30 because they don't have to apply again for that second listing. You can do this one time with another agent or landlord, and you can also actually save the RentSpree reports as a PDF file in case you want to share them via email as well. Another great benefit with RentSpree is that you can actually accept or deny renters directly from the dashboard itself. And we also include templatized emails. So what these emails do is that you can actually issue decisions to the applicants directly from RentSpree. And these letters are all FCRA compliant, and they allow you to explain the reason as to why the applicant was denied from that particular rental. So to reiterate again, RentSpree to join is completely free for you as an RPCRA member. The cost for screening is passed down to the applicants, and that's a $30 application fee. We also want to share some feedback that we received from our customers, which are definitely our most valuable asset. As you can see, we have around a 4.7 out of 5 average reviews on Google, Better Business Bureau, and Trustpilot. Customers love our ease of use and how simple it is to use RentSpree and how comprehensive the reports are. And our support team is always available to help you walk you through RentSpree as well. And I'll explain how to reach the support team at the end of the presentation today. So to reiterate some of the member benefits, so RentSpree helps to reduce your liability because you don't have to worry about handling SSNs or payment for screening directly from applicants. So the way that RentSpree works is that each applicant that applies for a rental is going to be asked to verify their identity. So the applicant, when they're filling out the application, has to provide their SSN for verification, and they have to answer a couple of challenge questions to verify who they are. And this is really great for you because you don't have to worry about collecting that personal ID information from the applicant because they give it to RentSpree, and RentSpree takes care to safeguard the information and make sure that you're getting an applicant who really is who they say they are. And again, the payment, you don't have to worry about collecting cash or checks for screening because the system is entirely digital. So the applicant will simply pay with a credit or debit card for the screening online, and that removes all liability from that side as well. Setting up RentSpree for screening literally takes minutes, and there's a couple of different ways you can access RentSpree, which I will cover later on. But it's a very simple process that doesn't really require a huge learning curve. But if you do want a personalized demo, our support team will walk you through a screen share of how to use RentSpree if you wish to do that as well. As I mentioned again, it is free to use, and the applicants do pay a $30 screening fee with a credit or debit card when they're applying online. And the best part about it all is that the turnaround time is instant. So when the applicant submits their information online, provides their SSN, makes the payment, you receive the results of the screening report instantaneously in your email and simultaneously on your RentSpree dashboard. The applicant also receives a copy as well. And again, it is 100% mobile optimized. So you can do it either at home or on the go using your smartphone. So now let's walk through a couple different ways in which you can access RentSpree. So as you may know, when you log into RPCRA, you're going to notice your Clarity dashboard. So RentSpree has an icon on the Clarity dashboard that you can click on. And the best part about this is that you can use your existing MLS login credentials to create your RentSpree account directly using that tile. We also have a dedicated website with more information. It's rentspree.com/RPCRA. You would go to this website if you want to book a support demo with our team, and they'll walk you through a screen share of how to use RentSpree one-on-one. And then finally, which is our most important touch point for RentSpree, is that whenever you're adding a rental listing into Matrix, you have the option of clicking yes or no on RentSpree tenant screening. And we're going to walk you through step by step of how to do just that. So whenever you're on the residential rental listing input, you're going to notice that there's a couple of different stages of when you're inputting a rental into the system. So when you're adding it into Matrix, you're going to see that RentSpree is the last item under financial information. And it's basically just a drop down where you have to just click yes or no. We do have a little question mark next to the field to give you more information. But essentially, if you click yes, you're going to receive an automated email from RentSpree, and it's going to come from support@rentspree.com. And this email is going to contain a unique application link for that particular rental property, and it's called the apply link. So the apply link is a one-click system that the applicants can use to easily apply for the property. And the benefit of the apply link is that you can actually copy and paste it anywhere onto the internet. So if you're an agent that uses Facebook Marketplace for your rentals, all you have to do is copy and paste the apply link into Facebook, and the applicants can actually just click on it to apply for the property. Even better, the link is also written back into Matrix. So if you want to send applicants the listings directly from the MLS, they'll get them via email, and they can actually apply for the property through their email as well. So there's a couple different touch points you can use, but it's really versatile. So depending on how you post your rentals online, you can copy and paste the apply link into anywhere of those sites. Now, once you enable your screening, you're going to be taken directly to your RentSpree dashboard, and your dashboard is where you will see all of your active rentals. Now, keep in mind that since RentSpree dashboard and the MLS kind of talk to each other, you don't have to worry about adding a listing manually, because all of these listings will be synced directly from Matrix as long as you click the yes button to enable the RentSpree screening. There's a couple different things that you can do on this RentSpree dashboard. So right now we're on My Listings. You can see all of your active rental properties. And what's really great about this is that you can kind of see what stages your renters are in. So you can see that 8 renters have applied to your first property and only 1 renter has completed screening. You can also see which reports have been shared with other agents or landlords or property managers as well. We also have a client manager where you can easily input information for your renters. We have a rent estimate section. A rent estimate is where you can download a report for $19.99 that'll give you access to vacancy trends in the area. And this is really just to give you an idea of how you should price your property, just a basic recommendation based on statistics in that neighborhood and city. We also have the option to request renter's insurance through RentSpree. So as you know, in Florida, there are hurricane season. So a lot of landlords are requesting renter's insurance for their applicants. So we have an integration built out with the Sure app, where you can have the applicants either get a quote for renter's insurance and make the payment for the insurance directly through our system as well. Alternatively, they can also provide proof of a current renter's insurance policy, so the landlord has peace of mind there as well. We also have messaging features available. So if you want to communicate with the applicants, you can actually do so directly from RentSpree. And this is really great because it avoids email chains that are off the system. And we also have this nice little feature called RentSpree Pro. And RentSpree Pro includes 2 things. So the first is automated reference checking. And this is really great because the application is synced with RentSpree Pro. So in a sense, the team at RentSpree will verify with the applicant's landlord or employer to make sure that their income is correct, their current residential history is correct, and all those kind of things like that. So it really helps take the burden off your plate as far as reference checking goes. The second feature is document uploads. And this is great because if you're working with an applicant that requires additional documents for verification, you can actually have them upload their documents to our secure portal. And that way they don't have to send everything piecemeal via email. Everything will be automatically synced into one spot. So those are two features that are included with RentSpree Pro, and there is a free trial available for 1 month. But if you want to continue the service, it would be $9.99 per month after that, and you would be billed automatically. But you can cancel the service at any time. So let's say if you've already rented out your property and you don't need RentSpree Pro anymore, you can automatically cancel the service by emailing our support team, and they will gladly help you out with that. We also have a really neat refer and earn system. So if you know of anyone that could benefit from using RentSpree, we have a system where you can just enter their first, last name, and email address. And if that person signs up for RentSpree and screens their first tenant, you'll be eligible to get a Amazon gift card. So that's a nice little bonus for you to share the good word about RentSpree with your friends, family, basically anyone that works with rentals. So just to quickly reiterate before we move on into the questions. So RentSpree, again, is free to use as a member of RPCRA. It does cost $30 to apply through our system, and that includes an application, credit check, criminal background check, and eviction-related proceedings. You also have access to features like rent estimate, which is $19.99 per rent estimate report, and then RentSpree Pro, which is available for a free monthly trial, but after that, it'll be $9.99 per month, but cancelable at any time. And then you also have access to renter's insurance, which is free for you as an agent to use, but the cost will depend on the applicant because they will receive a quote through the system directly. All right, now with that being said, we're gonna go to our questions. And before we hop into questions, I do wanna emphasize that our support team is here to help you. And we do have a couple of different ways to reach our support team. So the first is through email. You can email support@rentspree.com. We also have live phone service where you can speak to one of our agents through the phone. And our phone number is 323-515-7757. And we also have live chat available on our website, rentspree.com. So you can easily start a conversation with one of our support staff and they can walk you through any questions that you might have. And again, I also want to mention that we do have those support demos that you can book on rentspree.com/RPCRA. And those demos are one-on-one screen share through Zoom. And you can actually just walk through the system on your computer or phone with one of our support agents. All right, and it looks like we have a question asking about the difference between myrental.com and RentSpree. That's a great question. I'm gonna have to look into that and get back to you. I do know I have to look into the pricing in terms of my rental, but looking at their website, it looks like they have a couple of different tiers for their service. So with my rental, you have a basic tier, which is $25 per applicant, which includes eviction, previous addresses, terrorist alert, multi-state criminal background check, and multi-state sex offender. But if you want to get the credit report with my rental, it's $35 per applicant. And with RentSpree, it would be $30. So it would be around $5 less per applicant if you were to use the RentSpree system. But one thing that I do want to mention is that if for whatever reason you would like to charge a higher screening fee than $30, we do give you the option to cover the cost of the RentSpree screening yourself. So let's say, for example, you want to charge $50 for rental screening. What you would do is that when you're enabling RentSpree screening on the dashboard, you have the option to pick who will cover the application fee. On there, you would choose, I would cover the cost, so me, not the applicant. And then you would pay $30 to actually get access to the reports, but then the applicant would pay you whatever fee you choose. So if it's $50, $60, whatever you want, that would be the workaround for you to actually get that additional screening fee from the applicant. But to answer the main question, yes. So the main difference between RentSpree and My Rental is that RentSpree undercuts My Rental by around $5 because we do include the credit report for the $30 cost. And I do want to mention that the credit reporting for RentSpree is provided by TransUnion. So TransUnion is our integration partner, which provides all the information on the credit reports. And we do have a great question that's coming in that Charles is answering. So we have an attendee asking is, do you have an anonymous copy of someone's application so we can see what it looks like? We do. I won't be able to post it into the Q&A, but Charles will definitely be able to post the link into the Q&A so you can access it there. It's a very simple application. Again, it takes 5-10 minutes to fill out. And again, it can be completed on the computer or on a smartphone as well. So that being said, I think those are all the questions that we had today. I want to thank everyone so much for joining today's live session. If you had to leave early, no worries. We will send you a copy of the recording. And as a quick reminder, RentSpree is available on your Clarity dashboard whenever you add a rental into the MLS. And you can also visit our website at rentspree.com/RPCRA. Thank you so much for joining, everyone, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.